Hi, my name is Pierce Miller, and I'm a research associate at Community One. Here is the study I conducted. So, my study is based off of another study. The study was titled Seeing Blue in Black and White Race and Perceptions of Officer Involved Shootings. The authors were Hakeem Jefferson, Fabian Neuner, and Josh Pasek. And their study asks why, because of social identity, do people come to bring different conclusions? It seeks to explain two concepts. People receive different information as a function of their social identity. And the second is that despite receiving the same information, people still process things based on their social identity. And the data gathered in 2014 was following the Michael Brown shooting. So this has a lot to do with all that went on with the Michael Brown situation and the other police incidents that occurred. And basically what these authors did was they presented questions about their racial and social identities before asking the respondents their opinions about the police incident details. What this did was it primed the respondents, the people that they're testing, so that before they answered these questions, to see if their background just kind of played a part in that. And my regressions will show this. And so here I'm going to explain my regressions. So for my first study, I ran two regression models. Module 1 looked at black respondents, testing if or if not they knew whether Michael Brown had a weapon. And basically, we found the statistically significant variables in this, and that they were the party of the respondent, whether they lived in a suburban area, if they knew the name of the officer, and if they knew the officer was indicted. Knowing these things, we're trying to just basically tell what played a part in answering the question with the details, and these were the statistically significant variables we found were important to connecting these two. Module 2 looked at white respondents, testing if or if not they knew whether Michael Brown had a weapon. And the statistically significant variables in this were party, ideology, and if they knew the name of the officer. When we talk about ideology, we're basically talking about on a level of they are how conservative are they or how liberal are they, just that spectrum. I also ran two more models. And so Module 3 looked at black respondents, testing if or if not they knew that Michael Brown had committed a crime before the incident. The statistically significant variables in this were the name of the officer and the age of the respondent. And Module 4 looked at white respondents, testing if or if not they knew Michael Brown had committed a crime before the incident. And the statistically significant variables in this model were ideology, female, if the respondent was a female or not, the name of the officer, if the officer was indicted, if they knew the officer was indicted, and then the income of the respondent. And now we're going to discuss the predictions I made. The predictions helped us just kind of draw the conclusions and help us understand the relationships between the independent and dependent variables. So for prediction 1, it was basically about a black respondent, and that if they knew the name of the officer, they were 3.38% more likely to know Michael Brown had a weapon. Prediction 2 stated that for a black respondent that did not know the name of the officer, they were 3.12% more unlikely to know Michael Brown had a weapon. Prediction 3 said that for a white respondent that knew the name of the officer, they were 2.93% more likely to know Michael Brown had a weapon. Prediction 4 said that for a white respondent that did not know the name of the officer, they were 2.7% more unlikely to know Michael Brown had a weapon. Prediction 5 states that for a black respondent that knew the name of the officer, they were 2.78% more likely to know Michael Brown had committed a crime before the incident. Prediction 6 said that for a black respondent that did not know the name of the officer, they were 2.38% more unlikely to know Michael Brown had committed a crime before the incident. And as prediction 9 said, that for a white respondent that knew the name of the officer, they were 3.12% more likely to know Michael Brown had committed a crime before the incident. Lastly, prediction 8 said that for a black respondent that did not know the name of the officer, they were 2.79% more unlikely to know Michael Brown had committed a crime before the incident. Our understanding of the role and the prior beliefs really help us explain this racial divide that we can see here. And just to conclude things, the independent variable for modules 1 and 2 did not Did the respondent know whether Michael Brown had a weapon or affected by all X variables? This is regardless of whether the respondent identified as a black or white person. And this further adds to the theory that the social identity plays a role in the explanation that people receive different information as a function of their social identity, thus supporting the claim that social identity and lived experiences play a role in the differences in perceptions between white and black Americans. Thank you very much.